See, that's how disorganized. I didn't even click go live. Which is why I'm trying to figure out why is it not there. Well, it's not there because you didn't start it. Well, anyway, hello everyone here on TikTok and on YouTube, Instagram, and YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitch. I'm gonna try to quickly mention my dream from last night. And why is it not, again, you know what? It's not even showing. Oh, wait. Okay, here it is. I found it. It's where it shouldn't have been. Anyway, I saw that movie, which I probably shouldn't have seen because they were saying how unholy it was. What was it called? Sinners. Of course, I saw it on bootleg because, yeah, but I didn't pay for it. Yeah, the most righteous way to do it, right? So I looked at it on bootleg one, and I'm like, what is it? I forgot the name of the bootleg app I use. Why isn't this not slowing? I forgot. I think it's called GoToMovie.com or whatever it's called, the bootleg one. Well, anyway, I saw it on bootleg, and it's not there either. With that said, I looked at Sinners last night, and I saw a bunch of people say, yeah, it was good. It was really good. Where's Tim? I'm in the library. That's my glittery, my blinged out backpack. So I'm in the library. Hi, Brandy, and hello, other people. And yeah, be sure to tell others I'm live. And also, like I said, give us a thumbs up or share. And you can also post your prayer requests. I'm in the library, and my ride's coming in like 30 minutes, and people are just constantly swarming around. There's 2 people in front of me, so that's nice. I have no privacy whatsoever, and all the study rooms have been booked solid. There's a waiting list, and the library closes at 9. So why is there a waiting list still at 8:15? 45 minutes later, the library closes. So you tell me what the heck that's about. With that said, I saw Sinners. I saw it on bootleg, whatever the hell. Go to, I don't know what the name of the bootleg site is, but I saw it, you know, where they pump a bunch of ads in it, but of course they don't, you know, outside of maybe sneaking and stealing, they don't ask you to drop off your info, because of course anytime you log on to a bootleg site, they tell you to give them your email or whatever, you know, never, not ever, because the second you give them your info, they're gonna steal it. This is already bootleg, but this one, at least they don't ask for your stuff. So I saw Sinners, and it was really good. And I know people were saying you shouldn't see it, but I saw it, and I didn't think much of it. And then when I went to bed last night / this morning, I had a weird dream. I'm trying to think of how it started. I don't remember how it started, but in the process, I was trying to go to the movies, and there is a movie theater where I'm from Washington, D.C. area, and there's a movie called Beltway Plaza, and I'm sure certain people from the D.C. area are familiar with Beltway Plaza. I haven't been to Beltway Plaza in 50 years, and I'm sure it's probably one of them malls that's on the brink of not, you know, I mean, certain malls are like really pumping, and the other malls are like dehydrating and shriveling away. Beltway Plaza, yeah, I did have a crazy dream watching a movie. I mean, I don't know. All I know is a correlation. I watched a movie, then the dream came. Literally, I saw it last night, and then the dream came. When I was at the Beltway Plaza, which is a local mall in the D.C. Maryland area, and I went in my dream, I was going to the movies. I went to the movies, and I was sitting near the front row. I don't know why, because who sits in the very front row? So I sat like 2 rows back, and I was like, I think you have to make RSVP for like certain seats. So I was like, oh, I paid for these seats, so they let me have the seats. And it was, and this is also why, you know, it's a dream, because Beltway Plaza is very diverse, but in the dream it was like mostly white people, and I was in America, so Beltway Plaza was a building, and I was like probably one of the only blacks in the front, like that row, which I didn't pay much attention to it. And then a whole crew of black people came in, which In my dream, I didn't even recognize, but I don't know who they are. I've never seen them a day in my life. But they're always like, "Oh, we're here," and so we all sat down, and then the movie started. You know, they was playing like the previews, but the preview was kind of like creeping me out, kind of like The Exorcist or something. But I was like, "Oh, hell to the no!" And even in my dream, I was thinking, "Man, this preview don't sound kosher." I mean, this seems like the original Exorcist type preview, and the original Exorcist is like one of the movies that's scary AF. So I kind of like snuck out the theater because I'm like, I don't really think I want to be in this film because whatever this movie is, it got some really wicked, weird preview. Hi, Mama. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Hello. And so I had like some weird whatever. So I left the theater and I was trying to go sneak into another theater, but literally when I left it, it was so weird. Like I couldn't find the next theaters. It was like it was almost like you were in like a maze and it was all these rooms and all these hallways, but none of them really left. And then when I did finally find a second movie theater, it was the same film. And I'm like, what? Why are they showing the same weird ass film in the next theater? And I started roaming around looking for another theater. And then it was kind of like, from what I remember, it was kind of like one of them like amusement park malls, but it wasn't like a fun amusement park. It was kind of like a circus, weird, creepy amusement park because like it was amusement park over Halloween, and I don't know why it was Halloween because it's not Halloween now. And so I was at the, they were showing these clowns and these haunts and these scary people roaming around in costumes and which is really weird. And so they had all these creepy ass costume character actors, and I guess they were like your hosts and hostesses. And then when they had the regular dress people, they're like the popcorn people or the usher. They were doing weird stuff like I don't remember, but it was like, oh yeah, you could exit, but we gotta like slice your skin open or like something weird, like chop off your finger. And I'm like, what the hell? Or they were like, okay, give me all your money, or we're gonna slice you open, and then you could leave. And it was like I kept lying to find, and I'm thinking, okay, well that's weird as hell. So I don't really want to get sliced open, and I don't want to give them all my money. So I kept looking for an exit, and next thing I know, it was just like I couldn't find an exit. I went upstairs, I went downstairs, and it was all these halls and all these like a very labyrinth of movie theaters. And then when I left the movie theater, I was in like one of them safaris, and they had like, but the safari didn't have a gate. They had like this damn alligator, and the alligator was just sitting there, and I'm like, why is there an alligator, like a real alligator in those movie theaters? And a few people were kind of scared of it, and I was kind of like concerned, like, well, why is there no fence around this alligator? Because it looks very real, and is it like just sleeping and full of tranquilizers? And if it is, why is it not in the fence anyway? Then they had this giant jumping spider. Hello, I can't pronounce your name. Hi. And I'm thinking, okay, what in the hell is going on? And I really hate spiders, so I didn't really see it. But I mean, I saw it jumping, and a few other people were screaming. So I was like, let me get the hell away from here. Because first they got an alligator, and they have a jumping spider. Why is the alligator and jumping spider in the same pit? Let me get the hell out of here. And when I went through the doors, I went through like some old ass shopping mall like Best Buy or something, but it looks like it was going out of business. So the building, that department store was empty basically, but it was still weird. And I'm thinking, how do I get out of this building? And I kept running into these ushers who was trying to like, come on back, you're like, you're not supposed to be over here, get back to your movie theater. Because they was trying to drag us all back to the theaters, and I'm like, oh well, I had to go to the bathroom. And they kept trying to get people back into the movies, which is all the more weird. Like, why you want us to go see a movie? I don't even want to see the movie. And so somehow I think I somehow I figured out how to get out the building, which was retarded because it was like hard to find. And when I got out the building, I was in a parking lot that seemed to never end. And every time I was turning left and right, I kept, I couldn't exit the parking lot. And then when I finally got on the street, it was like in the middle of absolute nowhere. I mean, it was like, okay, where am I at? I mean, it was no more, like the only thing they had was the mall and the parking lot and the movie and oblivion, like nothing else. There was no civilization anywhere else. And so now I'm like out there trying to hitchhike a ride because somehow I ran out of money. And then lo and behold, here comes the head usher. How did he find me outside on the parking lot? He was like, oh, let me give you a ride. And I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm getting back in the car with him. And he was like, well, look, I'm going to help you because there's no way out. So let me let you in here. And somehow he talked me to following him. And he's like, look, you can make a lot of money working with me because you're obviously stranded. You're obviously broke. And there's no way out. So the only way to get out is to work. You can either work with us. And look how much money I was making. They was making all this money. And it seemed like the whole mall was like housing for them. Like, so you could live there. You could work there. You know, it was like housing. And which is weird. I mean, what type of movie theater has housing? And they have these dorms and food. And you get all of these benefits and all these hookups. And like if you work there, it was luxury treatment. But if you were a visitor, it's kind of like you checked in, you can't check out, like Roach Motel. And I was like, but the job is based so they trick people to come to the movies, kidnap them, and either slice them up or steal all their money, which was, so I didn't really care much for the job idea, but I was trying to figure out how to get out of there. So I was like, oh, so maybe I lied and said I wanted the job. So then it was giving me a job tour, and I was going through like one of them warehouse stores. And what the hell? Why is my life flagged for hate speech? It's a dream. It wasn't that funny. I don't even know what part of. I don't know why it's flagged, but anyway. So it's really weird. And then somehow I tricked the guy because I was telling him I wanted to get out, and there was so many more obstacles. So somehow I managed to get out, and I ran back on the parking lot, and then I ended up leaving it and somehow hitching a ride to the next city. And I ended up at this amusement park in Kingston. It was such a crazy dream, but it's really creepy. And I saw it. I really had a dream literally hours after I saw that movie. So you go figure that. I don't even know what time it is, but apparently, I guess TikTok didn't like me describing this dream because it stopped something, whatever that's about. So yeah, figure, I don't know what I said in the dream that was so unholy and unkosher, but with that said, I guess I better sign off because they said, hi, dirty DA. I don't know what TikTok was complaining about, but I'll start this flash goal so maybe you guys can hook me up before TikTok kicks me off or does something because they didn't like my dream. You let me know what happened. What the hell? Oh, my ride comes in 10 minutes as well. I don't know why I didn't like my dream. Let me figure something else here. But that is weird. If anyone has any ideas, let me know. Campaigns. What hate speech or was I taught? I don't even know. I said I had hate speech. I don't know. Was I hate speech against a nasty spider? I have no idea. Go figure. But yeah, I guess they didn't like my dream. And with that said, and I have something for you people who like AI and don't like technology. Did you see the video, and I have to find it, of allegedly the robots that they were programming, and first they had a robot. I don't know why the robot was doing crowd control, but in the process it went buck wild and started fighting the audience, so they had to the cops had to pull it, harness it down. And then the next one they had, I guess the technicians there, and the robot went bad shit, and they had to figure out how to turn it off. Yeah, so that's nice. But anyway, I better get going because my ride's coming in 15 minutes.